Here's a quick walkthrough of how to use Power BI to measure your program so that you can accurately tell your story. First, best way to get to Power BI I find is by going to sira.churchofjesuschrist.org. And once you log in with your username and password, you'll be taken here. The reason I go through SIRA is because all of the tools over here show up and some of the other doors don't let you have access to all those tools. So, task number one, you want to just grab a snapshot of what your program currently looks like, seminary enrollment, institute enrollment, etc. To do that over here, you're going to use this first dashboard, the program dashboard, and you're going to select the program trends report. And then your go-to is always, no matter which report you select, you're going to click the filter button over here, the slicers button, and just make sure that it reflects what you want to measure. So in this case, I want to look at seminary, I want the current school year and this term, and I've made sure that my program is reflected. So if I wanted to see current seminary enrollment and attendance and enrollment percentage, that's the quickest way to get to it. Now, let's say you want to compare this year over year. I want to see how this year compares to last year. The quickest way to get from here is to just click the years button right here. And what this will do is it will now show me multiple years on the same graph. Once again, I'm going to go to my slicers over here. In this case, I'm looking at institute, which I'm fine with. You can select multiple years, and as you select them, they'll show up on your graph here. Of course, make sure the term is accurate and it's your program that's selected. And now you can see I have 1 year mapped on top of all of the other years. Now, down here in the bottom, this is where you get your data points. And then this key metrics box right here will always change what you see in this graph. So let's say right now I'm looking at enrollment. You can see every week of the term and how enrollment has increased this year compared to previous years. But let's say I want to look at participants. This is head count. And so here you go. You can see head count for every week of the term, etc. So that's the quickest way to compare year over year. Now, task number 3, let's say that a stake leader wants to see what seminary or institute enrollment looks like just in his stake. The quickest way to get to there from here is up here at the top, just to click stakes. You could also over here under program dashboard, you notice we've switched from program trends report now to the stakes report. So I've clicked on stakes. Of course, I'm going to click on my slicer. I'm going to show seminary, and then I want to select the stake down here that I want to see. If you want to see all of your stakes, you can select them all. And here you go. Here's an at a glance of how many students are enrolled but haven't been marked present, meaning scheduled, not attended, and the enrollment opportunity. Now, a couple of things you can do with this. Let's say that stake leader wants to see this broken out by ward. Really easy. You hover over or right-click, and then just select drill down. And what that will do is break this down into individual wards. This could be really helpful for you to look at before you meet with the stake leader so you can tell the story most accurately. For example, if this was my stake leader, I would say, President, I noticed Valley Forge 2nd Ward, their enrollment is really good, but I noticed that the Philadelphia 1st Ward only has 11 out of a potential 41 youth enrolled in seminary. What do you think we could do specifically in that ward to reach those youth? It's an inner city ward, travel might be a difficulty, so what are the tools that we could use to reach those youth? You'll have a much more productive conversation with a stake leader if you have a much more specific story to tell. So I'm going to right-click and drill back up. I just want to show you this. I can't put it on the screen because YouTube will block the video if I do. I've run through this a couple of times. But let's say that stake leader wants to see names. If I right-click right here and click drill through, it'll take me to the student recruiting list, which is a bit overwhelming of a report, but if you look at it, at least you can see that you can get to names pretty easily. There's a bunch of sliders and menus that you can change what shows up. It might take a little bit of practice using that report, but that's one way to get to names. Of course, back here in this program trends, another way to show things to a stake leader is just whatever report you're looking at. Here I'm looking at the program trends. I'm looking at seminary enrollment in the current term. You notice down here under my program, I have all of the stakes selected. If I just wanted to show one stake, I could show just one stake. So any of the reports are customizable. Now, one more report I want to show you. This one isn't in the program dashboard. It's actually in the executive dashboard. If you'll click on that and then click on trends, this report will show just a simple data point for whatever it is you're looking at year over year on a trend line. Now, there's a couple of different things we need to make sure are selected here. First of all, I'm going to go to my slicers. In this case, I'm looking at seminary enrollment, and I've made sure that it is my program selected. At the top, I can switch between looking at data for a year or data for a specific term. Over here, I can toggle between looking at the number or the percentage. And if I click on either of those, you notice if I click number, I can down here in the key metrics select which numbers I want to see. If I want to see enrollment and attendance, then I can see those numbers. I could, of course, unselect one and just see the other. If I select percentage, you see these key metrics give me different percentages. Right now, I'm looking at the enrolled over potential, the number enrolled divided by the number of potential. You could select any other of these and look at. Another report here in this executive dashboard that's somewhat handy is the presentation to year report. If you click on that and make sure that your slicers are accurate, it will show at a glance seminary trends and institute trends for both enrollment and attendance. It's the quickest way to get to trends. This is a report that I use pretty frequently, at least, because it updates on the semester on the yearly basis. But this is one that I go to if I just want to remind myself of what the trends have been in my program. Hopefully that helps. If you have any questions or anything that you'd like to walk through with someone else or something you'd like to get to that wasn't in this video, just give me a call and we'll walk through it together. Thanks, guys.